Hi, and welcome to my masterclass today, LinkedIn for Sales Managers. My 3 things a day strategy your team can execute today. How to get leads from LinkedIn for sales teams in 30 minutes a day or less. Okay, so this is for you if you are a sales team leader. Oh, it's not working. Maybe it is working. Anyway, this is for you if you are a sales team leader and you have a sales team of some kind, or if you're a business owner who's got a sales team, or if you just have a business where you have a number of people who are interested in getting leads from LinkedIn. Okay, so it is really simple and I'm going to go through it step by step. So number one thing for LinkedIn is to get people into the mindset of using it. So if you've got a sales team and you have a lot of people who are tasked with getting leads from wherever, they might be doing cold calls, they might be doing prospecting directly on social media, they might be sending emails, they might be going to events, however it might be. Get them in the mindset of the fact that LinkedIn is where a lot of those people already are. And as we know in sales, it's easier to go where people already are and try and create audiences in different pockets and different places. So LinkedIn is insanely useful when it comes to sales. And I think a lot of people know this, but they don't actually think about LinkedIn as somewhere to go and get business from. It's more like, oh yeah, I use LinkedIn for, getting a new job, or when I need to go on there and find somebody for my business or for something that I need. But instead of using it as a really strategic place to generate leads for the business. Now, as a sales team leader or a sales manager, I'm going to talk to you because you are going to have to motivate your whole team. And you don't have to bring me in every time you need to do that, right? So the way to motivate your team is to use it like a competition. So when I go, I've been all around the world doing this, and I've been teaching corporates and companies and sales teams. So one of the first things that I talk about is creating a competition on who's going to get the most leads from LinkedIn and giving each person their own ideal client to go after. So what I do is I silo teams and give each person a really clear, or let everyone choose their own, but a really clear ideal client they're going to sell to and the thing they're going to sell to them. So everyone might be selling the same thing. So an example was when I did some training in with Vanarama, and what I said to them is everybody pick a trade and go after that trade. Instead of being, we do vans, lease and sell vans to all the trades in all the world. We specialize in trades, but also instead pick one and go after that. And really that helps people focus not only their mind, but also focus on who they're connecting with, what content they're putting out, and how they're engaging with people. So what I would say is I would look at your team, or gather your team together, maybe get them to watch this, and say, right, guys, girls, non-binaries, let's decide who's going to go after what. And you can really play to your sales team's strengths with this, because some people might love selling to a certain type of person. Maybe they've got that in the background. Some people might feel really nervous about selling to a different type of person, maybe a big corporate, and you can focus them instead on a startup or an SME. So really speak to your team and find out who would they love to sell to if they could just choose to sell to one type of person, and really empower them to choosing their own ideal client for this, and then showing them how they can do this really easily. But in my experience, from training, teaching thousands of entrepreneurs all over the world for the last 5 years, is that people just really do love to speak to one type of person at a time. So like for me, it's really powerful to empower people to make a decision on who's actually my ideal client here. And although work, might be saying to me, let's sell all the things to all the people, when it comes to LinkedIn, and we can be really, silo LinkedIn as a marketing channel as well, I'm just going to choose to sell to this one person, this one product at this one time, and I'm really going to go for that, and I'm going to generate leads for that type of person in this area on this platform. And I think that can really make a difference and really shift people's thinking from LinkedIn's just this sea of millions and millions of people to actually, if I really know who my ideal client is, I can be really specific with this 3 things a day strategy that Helen teaches and really go for it. Now, I know this might not apply to all businesses, but actually in my experience, of which is pretty vast now, I would say, it does apply to all businesses. You just have to kind of think a little bit outside the box with it. Now, so for me, the big mindset shift as well with LinkedIn is to stop using it to showcase how great you are and stop using it to talk about how great the company is and how great you are. And instead use it to talk to your ideal client about how great they are and all the things that they've got going on and how your product or service is a solution for them, and not just talk about yourself the whole time. Again, it's a mindset shift, but it's not even a subtle one. It's a sledgehammer, because 99% of the LinkedIn profiles that I see talk about themselves, because that's how we were all trained to do it back in the day. But now the way that I teach it is very, very different, and we lead with our ideal client and we talk to our ideal client. We understand our ideal client and we demonstrate this with our words when it comes to our LinkedIn headline and profile. And then the third thing, really, when it comes to mindset on LinkedIn, is the money is there waiting to be taken. I've never met anybody I can't see where there's like 100K plus in LinkedIn sort of sat there waiting to be taken. So I know if you manage sales teams, money talks, and that's something to talk to them about. What would it mean for you if we could pull out 100K in new business out of this platform as quick as possible? What's that going to mean for you in terms of commission? And let's put this plan together and execute it so we can go and get it for all of us. Yeah, for the benefit of the company and benefit for them. And that, for me, is how I sell it into sales teams. So I'm sure that's how you'll be able to sell it in as well. So that's the mindset shift, really. It's about seeing LinkedIn in a slightly different light, seeing it for the massive opportunity that it definitely is, but seeing it as an opportunity to make more money, but also to grow the profile of the business. So ultimately, we're going to make more money overall. So that is just the first thing, really, in terms of mindset. Right, when it comes to strategy, it's really simple. I'm going to teach it you in the next 10 minutes. That's how simple it is. And again, the mindset is, I want to do my LinkedIn each day, get in, get out, and it's done. I don't want to be sat on there all day when I could be making phone calls. I don't want to be sat on there all day when I could be out building relationships. I don't want to be sat on there all day, full stop, right? Because we don't want to be sat there all day on LinkedIn. So it is really about, how can I make the minimum time investment in this to get the maximum return? And again, like I say, I've been teaching this over 5 years. I personally made 6-7 figures out of getting leads from LinkedIn. I've also taught it and made 7+ figures of how to get leads from LinkedIn. So I've seen a lot of this, and I see a lot of the things that hold people back on it. And I would say, apart from thinking LinkedIn's not for them or it's just for CVs, is that people think they have to spend all day on there. And I'm here to tell you, definitely don't. And I can tell you that with confidence, because I don't. I spend 15 to 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day max on LinkedIn each day, but I am super consistent. So that's the takeaway of the day, right? If consistency wins, you do need to be patient. It's a long-term game, but it is about getting in, getting your LinkedIn done, getting out, and getting on with your day. So no excuses. It should be something that should just be part of the daily routine. So there's 3 things to do each day on LinkedIn, and they are to grow your audience, to engage with your audience, and to put out content for your audience. And again, these could be overthought and overcomplicated, and we see this a lot on LinkedIn, but actually I keep it super simple. So ask to connect with 10 to 15 people a day who fit your ideal client sort of avatar, as I would say, so that fit roughly, loosely into who your ideal clients could be. Not that they definitely are, but they could be. Ask to connect with 10 to 15 of those each day, every day, as part of your routine. Don't send a personalized connection request. Just ask them to connect with you. Don't have to write anything. Don't have to write anything after you connect. I'm not going to be sending any DMs at all. So you can forget about what we need to write to people, because we're just going to ask to connect with 10 to 15 people a day. The standard connection request is fine. I'd like to add you to my network on LinkedIn. It does the job. So we're going to do that every single day. But it's important that we have a headline and a profile that talks to that ideal client, that says, this is who I help. So helping my ideal client achieve the things that I help them achieve by how we do it as a company, and then some keywords. If you go to my profile, so Helen Tudor on LinkedIn, you can go and see how I've written my headline. If you go to my recommendations further down on our profile, you can see there's about 450 on there, and 99% of them have got what we call a helping headline that's kind of structured to my way. So a headline that talks to the ideal client, and a profile that talks to the ideal client as well, about what's going on with them, how they're feeling, what situation they're in, and then how your products and service can help them, how your company can help them, and ultimately what they need to do next to get in touch with you. But anyway, you need a headline and profile that talks to your ideal clients, but then we're on to our 3 things a day. So asking to connect with 10 people a day, that's it. Don't 10 to 15, don't overthink it. Ask to connect with people who could potentially fit into your ideal client. Some people will accept, some people won't, and that's okay. We don't worry about it past them. Second thing is to comment on posts that you see in your feed. 10 to 15 posts that you see in your feed. Just add a positive, read the post, obviously, add a positive comment. Don't try and talk about what you do because your headline does that for you. Don't try and turn the conversation back round to you and your company and what you do. Instead, just comment on what they're doing and what they're trying to achieve. Just be polite, just be positive, and just engage with people in your feed. The fact is that you don't need to talk about your company because your headline does the work for you. And the more you comment, the more people see your headline. So it's super powerful. So the comments should only take you 5 to 10 minutes. You've got to read it. If you see something that just drives you mad and you won't want to comment on, just scroll past and follow the person. If you don't understand the post, just ignore it and move on to the next thing. But when people are posting kind of the general stuff we see on LinkedIn, I've got a promotion, I'm looking to help, I'm looking to find a job, I'm looking for people for this job, I've just been up in a mountain, this is my cute dog, this is how I'm feeling today. Just comment, just support on what they're trying to do. So I call it being a good citizen of LinkedIn, just being positive, supporting what they're trying to engage. But ultimately for you and for you as a team, it's about more people seeing your headline. The more people see your headline, the more people click through to your profile. And as long as your profile's got a good, strong call to action on there, which it should do, then more people will message you and ask to work with you. So it's really simple maths. The more comments you do, the more people see your headline. And then finally, and I said it was simple, just going to post every day. Now, content is a massive problem for people when it comes to LinkedIn. But again, I've been teaching this for years, and I'm going to tell you straight, you've got to get good at being average, because your content is never going to be the best content in the world. Well, it might be. If you're a content writer, you're a copywriter, if you're a content strategist, then absolutely. I see some amazing stuff on LinkedIn. But for your average Joe who's just trying to get leads from LinkedIn, who's just trying to show up, and I'm asking them to post every day, we're not going to write the most beautiful content. I don't, you probably don't, and that's okay. So you've got to get okay with being okay. Average content is better than no content. So it's just about showing up and posting. So the 4 types of content that I sort of talk about are stories. So a story could be anything from, I've just done some, I've just done a workshop, which was great. Here's a picture of me doing the workshop, to I'm working in the garden today. This is great. To some deeper, meaningful stuff about when you got your first job, or when you realized you couldn't carry on, or when you realized that this new thing was your best thing, or whatever it might be. Some of the stuff we see all the time. You don't have to write that all the time, though. It could be as simple as, the sun is shining, I am going to go to the beach, I'm going to do my work there. Yeah, it could be simple as that. You can put personal and professional stuff on there. There's no rules. No one can tell you off. People might try, although they don't do it as much anymore. But if somebody comments on your stuff like, this isn't Facebook, or I don't like this post, or whatever, just delete the comment and block the person and move on with your day. Honestly, it's not worth getting involved in arguments with people. Most people will be polite, pleasant, or most people probably ignore you, and that's fine. It's not about getting engagement on LinkedIn, this stuff. That's not how we get leads from LinkedIn. We don't get leads from LinkedIn by getting engagement. We get leads from LinkedIn by people seeing us showing up, solving a problem for them, and then sending us a message and us working together. So stories can be a one-liner right through to War and Peace. You don't need to write a big long thing all the time. But just shows people who you are, what you're about, what you do, and how you feel about what you do. Very simple. Can't get it wrong. Just relax into it and just post your stories. Video is super powerful on LinkedIn. It's not essential, but it is super powerful. In my experience of both doing it myself and teaching others how to do it, the more video we do, the more money we make. So again, money motivated. Let's get more video on. And for the person, it's about building your personal profile, right? Because even though you're in a sales team, you're still representing the company within that sales team. So it's using your personal profile here, not the business one, because business profiles are rubbish. We're not going to bother with those. But your personal profile. So video of who you are and what you're about. It doesn't always have to be, preaching to the crowd, adding value. It could be just, hiya, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is me in the office. This is what we're doing today. Or this is me out on site doing this thing, whatever it might be. Then video really helps people get to see if they like you or not. If stories get people to know you, videos get people to see if they like you or not, and that's okay. Some people will be watching this thinking, I can't stand this woman, and that's fine. Some people are like, I like this woman, I'm going to listen to what she's going to say, and that's fine too. So video can really help build your personal brand on LinkedIn, which obviously then leads to more sales. And third thing, social proof. This helps people trust us. So social proof, again, very simple. Screenshot. This person said this nice thing about me. I'm really pleased about it. That's fine. That's your social proof done. So again, we don't have to make it look pretty. We don't have to put it in Canva. We don't have to do this. You can if you want, but you don't need to. So I'm all about MVP. What's the minimum we need to do here? So screenshot. This person said this nice thing about me. I'm really chuffed. So social proof allows people to trust us. And then call to action posts. So these are sales posts. These are short, to the point, selling your thing. We have to sell to get people to buy. So very short, usually quite short posts. I've got this thing. I've got space for these clients, or I've got, room to sell this thing, or I'm looking for people who want to buy this thing. Like, quite simple. Send me a message on here. Very clear call to action. If you can be transparent about your pricing or a ballpark, even better. So people can make an informed choice before they send you a message to say, hi, I've been watching you for ages. They'll have seen your stories, seen your videos, seen your social proof, seen your call to action, and thought, actually, yeah, I'm ready. And that's the key, is to accept that people have to be ready to buy from you. This isn't about forcing people to buy from you. This is about hounding them in the DMs till they give up and go, right, we'll have a call. It's about showing up, being consistent, allowing people to come to you. Yeah, not send any direct messages, not hounding people, because we're going to let people come to us. It's a positioning tool, LinkedIn. You're a busy, successful person working in the sales team in a business, right? You haven't got time to be hounding people on LinkedIn. Instead, we're going to show up, we're going to shine, we're going to do our thing, we're going to do our stories, videos, social proof, call to action. We're going to do our comments. We are going to send our connection requests, and we're going to relax, and people are going to come to us over time. So you got to get in, you got to get out, 30 minutes a day, max. I don't want you doing more than that, because I know you're busy. You got other stuff you could be doing today and any other day when it comes to LinkedIn. But if you do your LinkedIn today, and you do it tomorrow, and you do it every single day, you will get leads from LinkedIn. It's guaranteed to work if you do the work. It will take time. It's not an instant quick fix. I know it's not sexy, but it is the truth. But if you're consistent and show up, you will get DMs in your inbox from people saying, hiya, I've been watching you for a while. I'm really interested in the thing that you just posted about, the call to action just posted about. And that is what's going to make the difference. That is what's going to get people to buy from you effortlessly. It'll feel effortless. You've obviously put the effort in the back end, but it'll feel effortless for them, for you, because they've already made a decision. They've already decided to come to you. So 30 minutes a day max, 3 things a day max. There's other stuff you can do. There's other kind of tips and tweaks and hacks. But honestly, this is the foundation stuff that works. And that's why I want you to focus on doing that first. Then you can put the stuff on top. But honestly, that's what I do every day to generate lots of lovely leads into my business. And way before I was showing people how to get leads from LinkedIn, I mean, before then, my agency businesses, my social media marketing business, my employer branding business, all my leads came from LinkedIn, just following this process. So that's it, really. Have a headline and profile that talks to your ideal clients. Choose an ideal client and go after that person on LinkedIn, and show up every single day. Ask to connect with 10 people. Do 10 to 15 comments of people that you see in your feed. Don't overthink it, and put out some content every day. Again, don't overthink it, but make sure you're showing up every single day. As you can see, send the word checklist to this link. It should be above here as well. And we will send you a checklist for you to tick off the things you need to do every day. That's it. You can show you that. You can print it off. Some people laminate it, put it on the wall, and just tick it off every day and know that you've done your LinkedIn for the day. So enjoy it. Have fun with it. Show this to your sales team. Make it a game. Make it a competition. And let's see who gets the most leads on LinkedIn. I'll see you then.